So we are inside the box of rock. I'm going to call this the holiday edition with one of my favorite vocalists and a Jersey guy and someone who has not been in this feature with me yet, and I've always wanted to get you here. It's the one and only Russell Allen. You know Russell from Symphony X. You know him from Adrenaline Mob. You know him from the Trans Siberian Orchestra. Just sort of like, I'm going to say, the pipes of a generation. So thank you so much for being with me.
Thanks, Terry. Thanks for having me.
So where do we start? Let's kind of rewind, but still come full circle and talk a little bit about Symphony X.
Sure.
Kind of a back with a resurgence with the band. So
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing. We just finished a North American tour with Overkill, another great Jersey band.
And the fans were so psyched.
Yeah.
People were coming out of these shows just going
Yeah.
crazy. You know, the usual, slamming into walls and just loving, the live shows.
It is amazing to see the transformation in the fan base over the years to more of a expressive one, if you will. I mean, for a progressive metal band to have a mosh pit is just something to behold. We always thought our music was a little maybe too complicated for that, but the expression is just, the energy that people feel is just amazing. So they just got to get it out, and it's fun to watch. So we did add a lot of stuff, though. We added some new elements to the show. I've been wearing these masks and stuff, added this theatrical element that the band is famous for with the logo of the two theater masks.
Sure.
And we're just, trying to improve upon our live performances because, as you know, the business is changing, and the live show is more important than ever.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking.
And the
to
legacy
do.
of the band.
Yeah,
It's strange for a lot of bands. All of a sudden, one day, you're like, my band has a legacy. And we have this fan base that, we've kind of grown over the years. The thing I really took me with you've come out and helped us with our WDHA Rock and Rough feature with Adrenaline Mob. The whole band came out, which was tremendous. The guys were here helping us out with adoptable animals in our parking lot. What I loved is when we had you here, the generation of kids that were coming up to you that were, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to be in a metal band, really struck me. Because I'm not talking like 22-year-old kids. I'm talking 10, 13. Like, it's got to really make you feel like, wow, holy crap, I have a legacy now.
Yeah. Legacy is a good thing. I used to think, oh, God, I'm getting old. But, the truth of it is I have a son and I have a daughter. And I'm very proud of the fact that a lot of young aspiring artists are coming up to me and saying how much I influence them, or the music that I'm in, the bands that I'm in, influence them or want and motivate them to want to explore music as a possible career.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, so I don't sit there and push people into it, especially my own children. But my son's a heck of a drummer.
Yeah.
So
how can he not be? I'm sure there's some kind of musical inclination.
Yeah. So but it really is cool, and I love the demographic is really broad for bands like Symphony X and of course Trans Siberian Orchestra. We've got
forget about it. It's everything. The soccer moms, the kids, the metalheads, they're all there. They're all there. So let's move forward and talk about Adrenaline Mob.
Okay, cool.
Band that has been probably the most active for you over the last couple of years. You guys had a great record out this past year.
Thank you.
Just really, really great. Dearly Departed, and of course a great year and a sad year.
I know.
A sad year because we lost AJ. He was out with you touring at that time. Does it feel still like a blur?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we kept busy, and so it was a way to kind of deal with it. Everybody had a focus on let's continue and finish out the dates we had originally booked with.
You have to. You really have to for the fans and for the promoters, and you have to do that.
He would have wanted it that way.
No doubt about it. He was a workhorse.
Yeah,
he was a workhorse.
A lot of people don't know this about AJ, but he was a total workhorse guy, like you said. He would be helping the crew load the trailer after the gig. Yeah. I mean, and we were just playing an arena with Avenged Sevenfold or something. He's loading the trailer with the local crew.
I think Dee's always said like he was the nicest guy in the band. He was the only really nice guy in the band.
Yeah, and he was our comic relief. He was our spirit. It's tough to try and be in rock and roll as it is, but to try and do it at what we were trying to do at our legacy age, to get out there and get in a van and do the whole thing and really push for it. AJ was the guy who was kind of like the Rock, and he was always, it's like well, if he can do it, we can do it, because
Yeah.
that's was
and
our
such a
attitude.
monster player,
Yeah.
underrated, amazing monster player, just fantastic, and one of rock's nicest guys. So Adrenaline Mob
miss him.
moving forward, I can imagine you do. We do.
You know what it is right now? I'll be honest with you, Terry. I just not really over it yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, I just don't really feel like the band should be doing anything for a while.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay.
When Chad stepped in, he was, not a lot of people know this either. I haven't really talked much about it. The whole media circus of what happened after his passing, with Dee Snider going on TMZ and all of this stuff, because of course he was a Hall of Fame drummer in one of the biggest bands in rock history, and so there was all that going on. So I just kind of didn't say anything, took a back seat, and just tried to be respectful of his family and not really get involved in all that. But one of the things that people don't realize is that he was actually going to go home the day he passed. We had Chad, slated to come in and fill in for him, because he thought he was having some shoulder issues, some strain, but it wasn't a muscle thing. Obviously, he was having heart issues, but nobody knew. We didn't know. He didn't know that he had any heart condition.
You think you're a drummer and your shoulder hurts?
I mean,
that's what you think.
This guy's banging away every night, and we're looking at him going, "Well, he's not tired,
Yeah,
so
right.
we can't give up."
Man.
So it was just, and so he was 24 hours away from getting home, and so Chad was only supposed to be in that position to fill in for him anyway, and that kind of is still how I feel about it. And so until things move forward and a little bit of time goes by, out of respect for AJ, I'm just thinking we just take it easy for a little while.
And you're a super busy guy. Trans Siberian Orchestra, out on the road with TSO. You guys have a new record.
Yeah.
New record. So tell me how you became part of the Trans Siberian, I'm going to call it almost like franchise, because it's such a business. It's this big, iconic, holiday thing.
Well, this is all Chris Caffrey's fault. So,
Yeah, right.
He's been telling me for years. He's like, "Russ, you got to meet Paul. Paul's gonna love you. You got to talk to Paul."
Paul O'Neill and Chris, the masterminds behind TSO.
Yeah, and Chris, and me were friends for a really long time. He knew Symphony acts, and he knew everything that I had done. And I just was putting it off because I didn't know if I wanted to tour at Christmas. I've never toured during the holidays before, and now since I have a family, I'm like, I don't know. And then I came to this I had this epiphany one afternoon. Because what happened was, my mother-in-law, who's a big doo-wop fan, was at one of the shows, the Duprees.
Okay, right, sure.
Right, in the park, they do things in the park.
Yeah, right.
So Chris Caffrey texts me, goes, "Yes, who I'm hanging out with?" And I'm thinking, it's somebody we know, somebody famous. It's my mother-in-law. Text me a picture. And I'm like, what the heck? What are you doing? And so he goes, "I'm here working with so-and-so in the Duprees, and she's a fan. She comes here all the time." So, and then I just got my wheels from him, and I texted him right there. I said, "Hey, man, do you guys have any openings for TSO this Christmas? Because I got really nothing going on this fall." And he's like, "Don't do anything. Don't book anything." And a couple days later, I was down in Florida auditioning, and that was it. You
are the rave review person. I saw you last year. People say, "Oh my God, Russ is coming in for Box Rock." Oh, when he walks on stage, it's amazing. I mean, it's a perfect fit for you, especially from the Symphony X background.
Sure.
Perfect fit for you. And I would imagine it's got to be a really cool thing to be involved with. It's so unique and amazing.
It's a lot of fun. It's such a unique show. It melds, heavy metal and progressive rock with Christmas songs, and this production is just, off the charts.
Gets better every year. Better every year.
And it's just a great feeling to bring that spirit of the holidays to our generation, and to generations coming up. Our parents' generation was the old school stuff, and so this is kind of like something for all the generations. It seems now we attract so many different types of people, but it is cool to bring that holiday spirit to everybody in a rock sort of a way. And I'm thrilled to be in this show. It's a lot of fun for me, as you said, because I can imagine. I get to use a lot of different techniques and singing and performing styles that I don't get to do in anything else that I'm a part of. So it's a lot of fun for me.
And there's a new record?
Yes, Letters from the Labyrinth.
Yes, very cool. Very cool. And I love that TSO, too, making music, which I think is really, really important. Yeah. Making music and making that great, big, fantastic rock holiday sound.
Paul is an amazing producer and writer, and he's a visionary. And he's one of the one of the few guys that I've been blessed to have worked with that really is a person, sort of a maverick in this time, and he cares so much about the artists and about the fans and giving them great music. And he's got about, I don't know, a bunch of different things that he's working on. So the future's looking good for TSO fans in terms of creative output.
Now, from a personal level, give me like your top 3 favorite holiday tunes of all time. If you're just listening, you're hanging out with the kids, you're getting into the spirit, maybe some cool classic stuff, or...
I like all the classic stuff. I really do. You know, Elvis Presley. You know,
Little Nat King Cole.
Have a blue Christmas without you. That's the best, you know. And then Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, and then Nat King Cole's was it Chestnuts Roasting?
Yeah, the Christmas songs.
Yeah, the Christmas
songs.
Those are
so
probably
beautiful.
my three favorites, you know.
Awesome.
So
Russell Allen, man, I'm so happy we got the chance to catch up with you. One of rock music and metal's, for sure, busiest voices, and it's great. Thank you so much for stopping by, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Mwah.